Hi, Mark from CharkBait here. I'd like to spend a couple of moments and show you a new line of surface lures we've developed. Um, those of you who followed us for a few years know that we've been producing more and more of our own gear. We're closer to the market than a lot of the bigger manufacturers out there, or a lot of the mid-sized manufacturers of lures. We have day-to-day contact with our clients. We're on the water ourselves. We know what works. We've got a good feel for what doesn't. We're usually a step ahead on the trends out there, by virtue of the communication. So we're in a pretty good position to go, straight to the source as far as manufacturing products. We'll go through all the lures individually, but I just wanted to note the size of these pieces. This is a big mouth popper. It's a big chunk. This piece is about 8 inches in terms of length. This series of lures are not made for everyone. These are some large lures. This is our big Mondo swimmer, big surface piece. Basically, we have 2 surface pieces in a swimmer design, and then we have 2 chugger styles. This is the largest lure in the series. This is our big 10 pin, big bowling pin type lure. Yeah. We'll get the next little bit of the video. We'll show the lures in a little better detail. Our surface series lures are poppers in the CharkBait Tour Tamers line. Basically, there are 4 different designs at present. These are all wooden lures. They're all through wired. They all are using, well, we have them available with hooks or without hooks. The hooks that we're using on these lures are some VMC 8527s. They're a 6X strong hook. So it's a big, meaty hook, definitely capable of dealing with larger yellowfin tuna or anything else you're going to come across. These lures basically are a design that have been used for big tuna as well as the giant travalle for years. There's nothing that's too dramatically different about these lures in that respect, other than they are an upgrade in terms of quality by virtue of the way we've done them. And number 2, we can offer them at a far better value. Lures of this size and shapes are commonly in the $50 range for pieces like this. And we've done some things that are pretty unique, I think, too, with the lures. First off, the first lure I want to show to you is the big mouth popper, and this is kind of a unique piece. We use 4 different color patterns consistent throughout the lures. A little holographic prism tape on the side. This particular piece, as you can see, has jets. So it's got a big mouth. So this piece will definitely deal with some larger grade fish quite successfully. We also are using the wire that we use through a wire, and I'll show you here how this is done. This is a prototype. You can see it's one big chunk of wire all the way through her. And that wire is probably, let's see, I've got the specs for it, but I'm going to say it's over 300 pound on this piece. Now, that's not coming out, and that's not going to be damaged. They are hollow. That wire runs all the way through the lure. Then we have a swivel with an attachment point here and a swivel on the attachment point on the rear. And again, this is a proto. We use some eyes. A lot of these lures in this type of style have a little stick-on, if that, or a painted eye. We like something a little bigger on the pupil, a little more visual to the fish. But as you can tell, this is a substantial piece. On the big mouth, we're looking at 18 centimeters in terms of length and 150 grams in terms of weight. These can be cast quite effectively with standard conventional gear without having to go to the lighter spinning tackle to get a good distance out on the cast. We have 2 surface swimmers in this line. There's an archback and there's the Mondo swimmer. The archback is 22 centimeters in length, so a little bigger than the popper. And it weighs in at 120 grams. Roughly, you've got, 28 grams per ounce. So you're at about, almost 5 ounces worth of mass here. The lures, all of them have a weight in the back, and that's how they achieve their balance. They are a surface piece. This is a surface swimmer. Again, we will have attachment point for 2 different attachment points for hooks. All the lures, again, are available with hooks or without. It's your choice which way you want them done. Some guys are rigging, big single hooks on instead of the trebles. That one is up to you. You can do her either way. So that's the arch back. And then the Mondo swimmer, a little bigger chunk here on the Mondo. It's 23 centimeters and it's 110 grams in terms of weight. So about 10 grams lighter, a little bit bigger. And then the largest lure in the series is the 10 pin. And this again is a chugger style head instead of the pointed swimmer style. So we've got a chugger style head, again, a little heavier in terms of the aft end and a little bit longer than the swimmers. Trying not to stab myself with these hooks. The big 10 pin is 24 centimeters in length, so a little longer, and it's 160 grams in terms of weight. So here we have our big surface poppers. Unique lures. The Andy piece is for bigger fish. Nothing more fun than catching a fish on the surface. That's explosive action. You get some schoolie tuna coming up. You can have a ball with these things on a cast and retrieve. Chug them along, swim along, and just watch the fish hammer them. Some guys will fish them with hooks. Some guys will fish them not, just as kind of a teaser to have fun. Watching the strikes. Whether you go single hooks and rig them yourself, or you go with the trebles, that's your choice. Thank you.